He doesn't know what to do. I gotta act like Alex. Hello and welcome to the Corner 3 Show NBA show. Hopefully you just listened to our Pacers talk. Now it's time for NBA talk. My name's Ross.
My name is Zach.
We're missing one, so it's actually the Corner 2 this week. He's on his way, so he may come in while we're talking. Don't pay attention to him.
Don't pay attention.
Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. He was busy doing work things, adult things. Whatever. So, we already talked about the Pacers here in our last show. Now we're getting into NBA topics. Last week, trades.
Trade deadline, baby.
Lots of noise. Not a whole lot of big trades. A couple larger trades, but none of the big names like the Celtics, Pacers, who were involved, actually pulled the trigger and made those trades. But
no earth-shattering NBA trade.
Yeah, a couple big ones that weren't huge. Off the top, I wrote down some of the bigger ones here. PJ Tucker from the Suns to the Raptors for Sullinger and a couple second-round picks.
Which I like that deal.
Oh, yeah.
Sullinger was injured most of the year, I think.
Yep.
Second-round picks, no one uses half the time.
Yep.
And you're getting who was a starting small forward, now is going to come off the bench, bolster that bench unit, play some defense. I thought that was a great trade.
I do too. It's the Raptors saying we're all in for this year and next. Well, this year, because I think next they have a bunch of free agents in the offseason they'll have to figure out. But they're like, we're all in for this year. We got Serge Ibaka for hardly nothing. We talked about that last week. Now we got PJ Tucker. We had problems at the 4. Guys who can play 4 and 5 and play defense. They got 2 of them right there.
There you go.
Thought those were great trades for him.
Yeah. Then we saw that Mr. Dougie McBuckets and Taj Gibson were traded to the Thunder for Adrian Payne, Laverne, and Morrow.
Cameron Payne. Adrian Payne is
Did I say Adrian Payne?
Yeah,
he played for Michigan State
guy. Yeah.
He was on somebody's team. I apologize.
Payne.
I'm not even paying attention. Cameron Payne, Russell Westbrook's dance partner.
There you go.
Was traded for Doug McDermott and Taj Gibson. I don't think it. I know. Well, I can't get too much in this. I think we have a fan question on this.
Okay.
But trade for the.
Let's talk about the Bulls side then. Who they're
getting. The Bulls
getting.
side of it. I think they're obviously just trying to get rid of some cap. Gibson's got a little bit of it, and they're trying to go young. Obviously, with Payne, he can possibly be. Maybe they're thinking the point guard of their future. I don't. Personal opinion, no. I think he's gonna be the backup. But why else do you trade those assets for a young point guard? Because Morrow, he's been in the league for a while. He's traveled around. You're getting out of him 3-point shooting. And I don't know a lot about the
Joffrey Laverne.
I don't know a lot about him. So, and you gave up a second rounder. So obviously it's either capped up and then making space, and you got to see something in those guys to give that up.
Taj has been at the Bulls forever. So for them to get rid of him, they're saying we're kind of moving in a new direction. McDermott, we'll talk about that later.
That's pretty much if you think about it, that's the end of an era. Really.
Yeah.
They still have Jimmy Butler, but if you look at it, the Bulls teams that were really good with
Noah, Rose,
Gibson. That era is over. All that's left is Jimmy Butler. It's kind of similar to the Pacers when you had Hibbert, West, Stevenson, Hill.
Yep.
All of them are gone. That era is over now, and you just got one guy left.
It's like every 5 years teams go through
your
rotation.
Superstars, all that's left, and both teams are struggling. So there's some similarities between those teams.
Yeah. Campaign, I agree with you. Backup point guard, but that's the Bulls are saying Rondo and what's the other guy's name? Michael Carter Williams.
Yeah, Williams.
Not our point guards.
KG's Gilchrist.
Yeah, MKG's MKW. Whatever. So that'll be interesting. I hope Cam turns out to be a good point guard for the Bulls. I'm curious who Westbrook will get as his dance partner now, right? I mean, he's got nobody to dance with.
Think Dougie McBuckets.
That would be hilarious. Oh, my goodness. The next larger trade then was the Sixers kind of stole Nerlens Noel. Well, Dallas stole Noel from the Sixers for Andrew Bogut, who's going to get bought out. Yep. Justin Anderson just plays defense, and then a couple second-round picks again. Interesting. You knew the Sixers were looking to shop a big man. I didn't think it was going to be Noel.
Yeah, I thought it would be Okafor.
Right, that's who they were talking about.
Yeah, I like it. I honestly like it. You're not giving up much. It's a guy you're going to salary dump anyway with Bogut. And Anderson's a rookie. I think he's a rookie, right?
Second-year player that's
not getting a lot of run, and you're giving up, again, second-round picks. Noel obviously was getting some run with the 76ers, but that's not a team where he can flourish. They're not going to use his skill set, and they're a bad team. With the Mavs, at least, he's going to get some run, and he's got a good coach in Rick Carlisle. And he can, he'll get out there, and I think I think you'll see a lot better play from Nerlens Noel on the Dallas Mavericks. I feel like if there was and this is a terrible term to say because it's a low value trade or not a big superstar trade. I think that if there was a steal of the trade, it was a deadline on that day. It was Noel.
Getting Noel for cheap like that.
Because the people are like, DeMarcus Cousins was a steal. Well, that was a couple days before the trade deadline. So I'm saying that day, that deal. But Cousins, who even says that's a deal anymore because they can't win a game with him.
Noel had a double-double his first game, or nearly a double-double his first game with the Dallas Mavericks. And, yeah, I think Dallas, I like what they're doing, getting a lot of these young guys like Yogi, getting Noel. They're like, well, this year we're not going to do anything, so let's just get some potential.
Get potential because there's no need to even worry about it this year. So get guys and see what they can do. I like it. There's a couple other little trades here and there. Rockets sent KJ McDaniels to the Nets. Bojan Bogdanovic went to the Wizards from the Nets. And then probably a really good trade, which Magic Johnson is sitting there saying, hey, look at me, first day on the job. I'm gonna make a trade here. Lou Williams going to the Rockets for a first rounder and Mr. Corey Brewer.
Good trade for the Rockets to get Lou Williams, 6th man of the year. Now he gets to be an awesome 7th man. I don't know what the Lakers were really thinking with this. I mean, their first round pick is going to be like 27.
But still, if you're rebuilding, you're getting a first round pick back. And it's a guy that I think Lou Williams, is he a free agent next year?
I don't remember.
He's getting up there. He might be a free agent next year. You can probably correct me on that, but I think it's a good deal for the Lakers. You're trying to rebuild. You're trying to get assets. You're getting a first round pick, and Brewer's not going to do much for you. But Lou Williams goes to a good team. I think the Lakers won out on this as well because if they do tank, you're losing a good player in Williams, so you're not going to win any more games getting Brewer. You do tank, you have a chance to get your pick back, plus you have another first-round pick. You can do that to continue to rebuild around Ingram and Russell, or you can package those first-round picks to go after a big-name player.
Trade for Paul George.
You never know. I mean, I think it's a win-win for either side.
I would take Ingram, their first-round pick, and some pieces. Anyway, so yeah, interesting trade deadline, a lot of noise, not a whole lot of big names like we discussed. There's some interesting moves where the Wizards and the Rockets are trying to gear up for long playoff runs. We'll see how it goes. But then after all those picks get made or those trades get made, guys then get cut or bought out from their contracts. One of the larger names was Darren Williams. Got bought out. Yep. He was the Mavs, right?
Mavs, yep.
They bought him out, and he's most likely going to sign with the Cavs. They get their playmaker, their backup point guard they've been wanting.
A lot of people will probably say Darren Williams is a bad player, but he's not a bad player. People are just used to what he used to be. He's a very good, serviceable, playmaking backup point guard now.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect fit for what the Cavs are wanting. If he had the option to come to the Pacers, I'd probably take him just because we need a backup point guard. So, I mean, I don't fault the Cavs at all for going after him. He's pretty smart going with him. He wants a title chance, being on a good team. Maybe he even, shows that he can still play. Maybe a team throws a waiver at him next year. Just throw him a bone and give him another contract. So, I think it's a good trade. A good signing and a good move by them. Obviously, the Mavs are trying to salary dump. So
yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but it's highly reported that it's going to happen. So.
Him and Bogut.
Yeah, Bogut. Do you think Bogut to the Cavs too? That's what I read. Possibly.
I think he's going to go. I mean, I know he has. Funny. I know he has the option to go to the Warriors, but I think he sees with the style play that they're doing now that he's not really a fit, and he's been there. He's been with his players. He's thinking, well, let me go join the team that beat me last year. Maybe I can beat my old team. I can, plus I don't think the Cavs can offer him the most money, but I mean, why would you turn down playing with LeBron and all those guys?
Go get another championship. Yeah, no, I wouldn't fault him for doing that.
Either way you go, Warriors or Cavs, it's not like you're making a bad decision.
It's just kind of surprising because a lot of teams were talking about wanting a guy like Bogut, and so they weren't able to trade him and get anything for it. Somebody's here. What up, fam? Oh, he looks very professional coming back from his interview.
No. All right, this is Skype. What are we talking?
Sorry for the
we're just wrapping up the trades. We're just finished up Darren Williams, getting ready to talk about big stars who are going to be traded in the offseason or at the draft. Do you think it's going to happen? So just think about that. We can skip it. We already talked in depth about PG, and you can listen and tell me where I'm wrong tomorrow.
You're wrong.
Yeah. I hope I'm kind of wrong.
What's the consensus?
What's the consensus?
What?
We're both thinking watch what happens around draft time. When everybody knows their draft order, we will see. You're gonna come in really weird because our mics are gonna pick you up. Just be quiet.
I'll say this. There's one point in Zach's microphone. He's not gonna make third team All-NBA. He will not make that extra 30, so the Pacers only have about $15 to $20 million bonus, basically, that they can pay him. So, PG, if you want to get paid an extra $50 million,
Make that all NBA team.
play well.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned that. Yeah.
Is he tanking on
Pacers' ability to intrigue him to stay is going to be a little bit hindered with in that offseason. But
Which is kind of what, we just talked about big stars being traded off season. We talked about Paul George maybe. Once you know the positions, do you see Butler getting moved in the offseason?
felt like it, the way they were talking.
And they're dumping everybody
Dumping
right now.
Taj, they're kind of like, let's just start over. But why would you start over with Dwayne Wade? The Bulls are kind of a goofy.
Does Dwayne Wade have an opt-out after this year?
I thought he did. I thought he only signed a 1 year.
I thought it was maybe a 1-1 where he
Yeah.
has a player option.
Whatever, Chicago. Keep messing up. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll take Chicago second.
I want to wait on the next topic till Ox gets his mic on because I know he's got some ties to these players. But we can at least get started. So the one that intrigued me with the trade deadline ending the way it did is the Celtics have been stockpiling all of these assets for like 3-4 years now. These number 1 picks.
7 first-round picks in the next 4 years.
Yeah, and a lot of them are really good picks. Their own, which is going to be mediocre because they're actually halfway decent now, but then a lot of Brooklyn picks, a lot of other good picks that are in the top 5, top 10. And again, another deadline pass, they didn't move any of them.
I'm back, fam.
So what are they going to do? Are they going to move some of those picks in the offseason? They're just going to hang on because this draft's so good, or then Gordon Hayward is a free agent this offseason as well. Brad Stevens ties.
Let's let Alex jump in here.
Well, it's tough with Boston because I think they are better than they thought they would be maybe 2 years ago as far as along this process of, once they traded Pierce and Garnett, they obviously knew it was time to rebuild. But I don't think they knew. I don't think anyone knew how good Isaiah Thomas could have been with the best contract in the league. I don't think anyone realized, the chemistry that Crowder and Bradley developed as far as like one of the best defensive duos right now in the NBA, I'd probably say.
Yeah.
And then there's the part about Horford coming. Who knew that he would come to the Celtics, and now they're 2 in the East and probably are going to jump to that number 1 spot considering Cavs injuries.
So don't you move those picks now? Go for it.
But
I know they haven't won a playoff series yet.
yeah,
So
it's tough. It's because on one hand, you move those picks, you add a superstar like Paul George or Jimmy Butler. How does that throw off your team? One thing you have to realize, we're 3/4 of the way through the season. It's not like we're halfway like the All-Star break used to be.
it's almost over. Yeah.
So it's almost over, and you actually have a legitimate chance now with Cleveland.
Could shoot yourself in the foot this season and mess things up
I
going
think
forward.
the move that they should have made is maybe trade next year's first-round pick for a piece. I don't just like a PJ, not a PJ Tucker, but like a role player. I think that trading their pick, their first-round pick from next year probably makes the most sense. So I was surprised they didn't make any move at all. I was not surprised. I don't think, unless the Pacers knew that they weren't keeping Paul George and then took him for nothing, would take anything for him. That's the only way I saw them making a big move. But yeah, I don't see Boston really pulling the trigger unless they get a really good offer on the draft this year.
It'll be interesting when draft time comes. I think the Lakers and the Celtics will be very active. They both want to.
Hayward, yeah.
Celtics have the pieces, and the Lakers want to be relevant again.
Hayward, I don't know about. I think he's been in Utah when Darren Williams was there, and that team was falling apart. That Utah team that made
He signed a big contract,
runs.
And people were like, "Well, is he really worth it?"
And obviously,
And he's worth it now.
Have you seen those dunks the past few nights?
Yes,
He's dunked on everybody in the past few days. I don't know. I think obviously the storyline of him playing for Stevens is pretty darn cool, and I know he and Stevens have a really close relationship. But at the same time, how long has he been in Utah? He's been there since 2011, so 6 years. He's got a family.
It's not like they're losing, like they're a terrible situation.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff to think about, a lot of things, and Utah, as you said, if somehow Golden State breaks up, you can't help but think that Utah team has a couple solid years up in the future. You got a young team, young core. They're good.
What do you think about, though, if, with the Pacers talk of possibly trading Paul George, the threat was he was only going to resign with the Pacers or Lakers. Mm-hmm. Larry Bird keeps saying, Paul George keeps asking for him to improve the team.
Mm-hmm.
What's the pipe dream of Gordon Hayward returning to Indiana and joining
is a pipe
the Pacers?
dream.
Obviously Paul would have to leave.
Ooh, Paul leaves. Sign Paul. Gordon,
I don't.
get the
That would
trade.
be awfully tough.
That'd be crazy.
Well, the only way is if they trade Paul at the deadline and then sign Gordon shortly thereafterwards during free agency. That'd be awfully tough. I mean, I think I don't know. I'm not an NBA player, obviously, but I don't know. There's something I wouldn't want to play. There's something about coming back to
playing home and having all that expectation, like D Rose in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's part of it that would be cool, and he does have family here, and his wife is from here too, so there's that. And they're from Indianapolis, not like they're from Gary or West Lafayette or somewhere like that. But for me, there's always something like, I don't know, there's like so many more people pulling at you, especially with the contract he's going to sign. I mean, he's going to make the big bucks. Mm-hmm. And there's so many people around you, and it's so tough to manage all of that, to say no to people, and just so many distractions. But for some people, it works. Like for George Hill, he had a solid career here. And Derrick Rose obviously had a solid career in Chicago when he was, healthy. But personally, I just think there's always something weird about coming back, especially when you lived in the city.
Yeah.
There's like something cool about it if you're that superstar like D Rose, but then again, there could be some like...
It would be on another, like George Hill and Jeff Teague coming back, that's cool, but like if Gordon Hayward came back, that would be on a whole nother level.
Because of the Butler
Pacers
finals
fans.
runs, it would be the largest Indiana home product to come back here, probably. I mean, I'm trying to think through the history of the Pacers or anything like that. I can't think of any other locally grown.
I mean, back in the
player.
day, Billy Kill and George McGinnis, they
true.
both went to Washington High School here in the city, but that would be pretty darn cool. I mean, he's going to get money thrown at him from any team that has cap space.
If we trade Paul George, that is the best case scenario. Trade him for picks and some package from Boston or LA, and then sign Gordon Hayward with the leftover cap space that we lose for that.
That'd be a pretty sweet deal. I mean,
I don't think it's going to happen, but if I could pick one,
I'd be wary though
of
cool. The whole always going to Boston conclusion just because of the
just
Stevens
of
connection.
Brad
Stevens.
I mean, keep in mind he's got a pretty good situation there in Utah, and they have a good core.
Because Durant was supposed to go to Washington because he was buddies with Scotty
well,
Brooks,
that
right?
was like more.
I know it's a little different. I'm just
artificial.
saying.
I think
just
that
the
was more
connections
just
are not going to automatically give you something. But
yeah, I agree.
So that'll be interesting. Other topic from today, or it was yesterday actually. So we talked about it last week, but Ben Simmons is officially out for the season.
Correct. Well, we talked about if he would
should he
come back, if at all, hurt his rookie of the year chances if he played, and then I heard that he got actually a bone marrow transplant in his foot to help with the healing.
Ooh.
And it obviously hasn't taken.
I heard it wasn't healing.
I've seen some of those videos though too of him working out. I mean, he looks to be pretty mobile. So,
I think it's more of his agents.
No, I agree. I think it's more of Rich Paul and that LeBron's crew are probably just want to take it easy. I mean, he, from all accounts and how he played at LSU, he's got some potential there. So I guess why kind of start the story off on a bad note, It's different with a guy like Paul because he was already a superstar, and, for the city and for himself, it was nice for him to get back and just to show people that he was okay. For Simmons, it's like people still don't really know what you're going to be yet, so why not, don't spoil. And think about this. He's 18, 19 years old. If you play the last 10 of the season and are just terrible, you have 5 months in the summer
of feeling.
And then the media just saying that you're a bust. So
I totally agree with that.
Well, and you can build hype around him in the offseason, coming to a new season. You can finally see him play.
We got Embiid. We
Sell
got
some
Simmons.
Tickets. Yeah, which Embiid is out for the season.
And another good
pick. Is that for
pick.
the season now? I thought he was just out indefinitely.
It was out indefinitely.
Indefinitely?
So it could be the season. We'll see. It's the meniscus tear. Yeah,
his knee.
Yeah.
Then we talked about a little bit earlier, Brandon Jennings got waived. We talked about possibly Washington picking up. But another one, Mr. Luis Scola.
The dedicated runner. Remember Luis Scola when he would run
Someone
down
tweeted
the
him
court?
sprinting across the
8.9
court.
seconds. Put that. I love that.
What did you guys say about Pacers picking up? Did you guys mention that at all?
We mentioned it, but we don't think it's going to happen.
It ain't
I don't
gonna
think it's
happen.
going to happen either. I don't even think cap
It's like
space
Zach's
works.
idea was Washington, or did you read that somewhere? Because I agree with
I heard
that.
it was Washington.
I can see that
They need a
happening.
backup because Burke is awful.
I feel like if they sign him, you have another replica of Ellison Brooks. You got another guard that's
Score
not
first.
going to help you.
Yeah, but I'd take Jennings over both of them.
I would, but I don't think they'd do it.
I don't know. They'd have to cut someone too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we already got 15, and now our 15th guy is actually
Well,
getting minutes.
don't
Not
know.
good, but getting minutes.
he's something. He's something.
We do have a fan question from our Hall of Fame fan here, Mr. Jake Masters.
Is it
Big
F?
time Pacers fan.
Did I put an F in there? I'm sorry.
Oh, dang Dang it. I know he's going to be so mad about that. He tweeted at us, Cantor's back. Addition of McBuckets and
I like
Gibson.
this question.
Will OKC get on a roll and take over the 3 seed by the
You
year?
heard me, Jake. I actually do like this question.
So to get on a roll and take over the 3, they are 34
yeah.
and 25. The 3 is 42 and 18, so they got to win 7 games. They're 7 games back to get there.
I don't think they're gonna get the 3 seed, but
The 4 is in play for sure.
I think that this addition is a lot bigger than people are realizing. I'm not saying that Taj Gibson, Doug McDermott are going to be, huge pieces, but they really fit Russell Westbrook because with OKC, you're not trying to match necessarily a scheme. You just have to match a Russell Westbrook. You have to get pieces that fit. So Doug McDermott, all he has to do is stand there or run, or he can run off screens and kind of open up the paint. And Gibson's just pure energy, put back dunks, rebound, offensive rebounding, energy
Steven
guy.
Adams.
Yeah, he's another. He fits that mold of Steven Adams, a Cantor, just make a play. You don't have to necessarily have a great skill, but just make a play somehow. So and they traded away Payne, who I guess Chicago values him for giving up all that they did for him. But Payne wasn't doing anything to help them.
He was a good dance partner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't doing anything for Thunder. He barely played, and you get 2 rotation players and a starter for him, which is pretty darn good.
It's almost like the Bulls are just trying to restart and salary dump.
When I
like
saw
Zach
that
said.
trade is when I thought that Butler was gone.
If they're trying to restart like that.
Yeah, because I was like, why are you giving away?
Everybody.
They really like McDermott and
Taj has
Gibson's
been there
just
forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cheap.
We
so
talked about that earlier. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing that they just did that and then didn't make the Butler trade.
What is his salary?
Gibson,
Yeah.
probably like 8 or 9, I guess. I'm gonna look it up. Probably 8 or 9 million, I'm guessing.
Because I said it was a salary. It was most likely a salary dump, but I can't remember what his salary was.
McDermott's still on his rookie contract. He's got a year left, I assume. Because
8.9 million.
yeah.
So it wasn't as high as I thought.
So no, that's when I saw that move. I was like, that's weird. Why give up a solid starter?
Why
and-
start over and build around Dwayne
I don't
Wade?
know. I don't know what the Bulls are going to do at this point. I don't know. What's your plan right now?
Yeah.
You have Jimmy Butler. You have a Dwayne Wade who has 2 years max left in the league, and other than that, Mirotic is not the player anyone thought he would be.
And then Rondo and Michael Carr, they don't have any.
They're bad. They're awful. Like
Sorry, Bulls fans, but it's
next
true.
year they're going to be terrible unless they don't make a move.
Mm-hmm. So Jake Masters, I don't see the Thunder making the 3 seed
Sorry.
with this move.
They will be extra fun to watch, though. There's going to be fights with Adams and Gibson down low, bashing people in the faces, and McBuckets is going to get all kinds of threes. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, good
Russell
one last
Westbrook's going to be
night.
Russell Westbrook. You watched the highlights from him last night?
Yeah, it's amazing.
My goodness.
Do you guys talk about the Pelicans at all and just how this is not going to work because the rest of the team is terrible?
We have not.
We have not, but I watched the highlights, and Boogie's getting upset and throwing fits again.
Well, technical.
They're like they scored 38, 31 points apiece, and then the rest of the team is literally just
Drew Holiday,
Nothing.
and that's it.
awful. Solomon Hill, for God's sake, shoot the ball. Like he's like 2 for 3, and like, dude, you played 30 minutes.
I think they're holding out.
Shoot the ball.
Holding
Yeah.
out judgment till next offseason after they get a training camp and try to do a new game plan with the 2
They just gotta
bigs.
get some
but
pieces. Their team
it
is an
doesn't
NBA
look
players.
good.
Tim Frazier is not an NBA player. He starts.
Yeah. Can you imagine though?
Carl Thompson.
Divac has been getting hammered for this trade, but because the Kings are 1 game out of the 8th seed, the
Yeah.
Kings can make the playoffs as an 8 seed, and if the Pelicans continue to lose, the Kings can make the playoffs and get a top 4 pick from the Pelicans.
Don't.
Screw that one. Well, yeah.
So that's actually, if it works out that way, that
Viewing
wasn't a
theory is
bad
in full
trade.
effect.
Yeah. It's such a weird situation because I'm so surprised that New Orleans just made that trade and didn't make any other
Do anything
trades
else.
to
Well,
help them out.
2 days before, there's a better trade.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like for New Orleans.
For New Orleans,
I'm saying like why didn't they go out and also make like a trade for another player, like another
Yeah.
role player? Right now they have Hollis Thompson, Indy fan favorite, starting at small forward.
He's a difference maker.
Like Etuan Moore is like their 4th best player behind the 2 bigs and Drew Holiday. Their team is so bad. It's like, how did you not put together at least some sort of rotation around these 2 guys? If you make that move, you want to win now, and you didn't make another move.
See, when this stuff happens, like, we get depressed as Pacers fans. Like, what are we doing? We're in the middle. It could be so much worse. It could be the
Yeah.
Pelicans, Kings, Knicks, Bulls, who don't really have a direction what they're doing. They're just kind of putting pieces together and see if they fit.
There's a lot of NBA teams that don't have a direction.
I think it's good for Pacers fans. At least we have our star, but we also have a backup plan in Miles Turner. So that's nice to have a star and a prospect like that, even if they're not on the same, like, you know, Porzingis and Melo, same situation. But on one hand, Melo is just not on the same. They're obviously not on the same page as far as the direction they want to go.
Wrong timelines, yeah.
TNT predictions.
TNT predictions. I don't know if you guys have taken a look at the standings, but I did poorly. Alex did well, and you're only one game down from me for second. Zach has a nice cushion on us still with a 4-game lead.
You know we're gonna have to do something with March Madness when that comes around, right?
Ooh, yes.
I don't know if we can throw March Madness.
Oh,
in there.
stop it!
Because that could literally swing somebody's bracket.
Yeah,
10 games.
couldn't it?
Exactly.
Couldn't
This is
it?
an NBA show. here.
We're a hoops talk show.
You know what?
Read our Twitter bio.
We need to see what Alex threatened last week because he said that
Oh, jeez.
his record in the All-Star game
It counted.
It counted.
It did.
Which we have video proof.
No, you gotta go before that part. Anyways,
Before we recorded, evidently. But this week, Thursday games, Golden State in Chicago. Gee, yeah, okay.
I got the Golden State Warriors because they're the best team in basketball, and the Chicago Bulls are not near that.
Cameron Payne will score 30 points. Now it's going to be a bloodbath.
Everyone got Golden State.
Yeah,
You have to, right?
All right.
But
you have to because I mean,
Right.
if you look at their last game, Robin Lopez was the player of the game for the Bulls. When Robin Lopez is your best player against the Warriors,
Oh boy,
you don't lose. So,
All right, OKC at Portland.
OKC.
ooh.
I'm going OKC.
I'm going to Oklahoma City. Thunder. I almost said Warriors. Oh gosh.
Russell Westbrook
I
hear
can't
that
remember.
punch you through the screen
Portland got rid
I
of
think
anybody.
Portland. Wait, where's Portland right now?
with
They're not in the playoffs.
Josef Nurkic.
They're a game and a half out. Game and a half out. I think Portland's gonna just
not make the playoffs.
lie down and
Sorry, Portland.
surrender.
I'm gonna take the Portland Trailblazers.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. We need to make up some ground.
All
I got a
right.
feeling.
Last one then this Saturday, Clippers in Chicago. Again with the Bulls. Why do they keep putting the Bulls on TV? I don't want to see the Bulls.
It's a Chicago.
All right.
I don't know. I have to think about
CP3's
this.
back. I got Clippers.
He's back.
CP3's back. Everyone's healthy.
Zach,
Bulls are a mess.
Blake Griffin's playing really well.
Blake Griffin's playing well. I'll take the Bulls.
Not.
you take the Bulls?
Take the Bulls.
Okay, good, because I'm
man.
going to take the Clippers. I'm taking the
got the
Clippers.
I can't wait until my predictions come right.
They
I'm
normally
the
do,
Clippers.
which is
I'm the
very
Clippers.
frustrating.
All right. So our corner three for this week is top 3 concession foods.
Yes. So
But
you go.
you know what? Indianapolis doesn't have as many like those, or Bankers Life Fieldhouse, where we regularly attend games, doesn't have as many of like the interesting food
Signature
options.
items,
Yeah.
and is actually pretty poor on all of their food items. Bankers Life. I'd hate to say this.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Besides like pretzels and ice cream.
All right, number 3. Let's just get going here. No one wants to hear Russ.
Number
Picker.
3. Number 3. I always get hot dogs when I go to games, even if it's baseball, basketball. I get hot dogs. Simple, plain. I know, boring. Go ahead.
I bet you do.
Yeah, I got so many jokes that I can't say that.
Censor yourself.
You say hot dogs, and well, if we're at Bankers Life Field, that's where we usually go. I usually get their chicken tenders.
Indiana
Ooh,
staple.
I love a good chicken tender.
Chicken tender, that's right.
I love good chicken tenders.
With a side of fries, a little bit of barbecue sauce.
Ooh, barbecue sauce and chicken tenders is nothing better.
Better than a hot dog.
Better than a hot dog.
Definitely.
Much better.
Definitely. I
That's
don't
fun to eat,
normally
though.
get food when I go to the game, so it was hard to pick this list.
Anyways, I will definitely go with Donato's Pizza. But sometimes, now I think they
This
do
is
Papa
number 3,
John's
right?
now. Yeah, it's
Okay.
number 3. But it comes like those little boxes.
Are they a national chain or just
Donato's?
a local chain?
I think it's Papa John's now. I think they switched to Papa John's. But anyways, like those personal little pizzas you get.
You feel special when you get the little
You feel
personal.
special and you eat them up. Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Good. All right, go ahead. Move on.
Pretzels with cheese is my number 2.
You copy her.
Simple, big, soft pretzels. Dip
my
in
number
nacho
1.
cheese.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Pretzels with cheese is my number 1.
See, don't spoil it. So now you have.
No,
Talk
I have
about
to.
your number 2.
I have to. I
Talk
have to
about
say
your
it.
number
I have to
2.
say it.
It's
My
just
number
that
2,
good.
which is everybody's favorite since they were 5 years old, is Dippin' Dots.
Why is everyone stealing mine?
You texted it to us.
Yeah.
It's
No, but I mean, literally, when you go to a game, what are your options? Hot dogs, hamburgers,
Burgers.
chicken tenders, box pizza,
All right, I'll throw something at you then.
and Dippin' Dots.
There's a smoothie stand behind section 14. No, section 12. And shout out to JB Rap. They have the best strawberry banana smoothies in the world. Like your classic, almost just like a slushy smoothie, strawberry
I
smoothie.
can't imagine myself getting a slushie at a game.
At a game.
No,
Smoothie.
it's good. It's good. It's good because it's good. It's just good. Anyways, Dippin' Dots is my number one, and Dippin' Dots is the greatest thing. Dippin' Dots is behind. Dippin' Dots is just okay. When you walk in, you have the big grand staircase. It's to the left.
Yeah.
It's to the
You guys
left.
know exactly where it is. I've always wanted them to sell Dippin' Dots in the grocery store so I can take it home. I wonder why they can't do that.
I think they do. No,
I don't.
I've
know.
never seen them.
I've never.
Maybe
tried
I
to
missed
look
them.
for
Let me
Dippin'
know
Dots.
if I'm missing them.
they
'Cause
definitely
I will
sell
buy
them.
I just want to pour it,
Yeah.
go right away.
Which you
Wait,
never.
pretzel with cheese, like a good soft pretzel with like a good like nacho cheese, like all
Spicy.
artificial
Oh.
cheese.
All
Oh,
day.
yeah.
All that fake whatever. Yeah.
That's
Pour it
so
on.
good. That's so good.
Well, my number one, it's the only thing I actually do get when I go to a game regularly, is I get a beer. And because I'm in Banker's Life, I go get a Sun King beer.
Oh.
And I'm not getting paid to say that. I'm legit saying I go get a Sun King. They actually have a Pacers basketball.
Wait,
No,
I
really?
do have a question. Is there? I know they have little booths around the arena.
Yeah.
Is there an actual Sun King deck, like a spot, like a seating area?
I'm pretty sure there is a Sun King deck somewhere in the middle. I want to say Craig DeVault
Like
level.
on the
I know there's
club
like
level?
4 or 5 spots you can get Sun King, and there are specific Sun King little kiosks and stuff. But
And then if you're sitting like on the floor within the, I think it's the bottom floor. No, I think if you just have like the pass to go to like the locker room
Legends.
restaurant, there's a
Or-
bunch of bars too, little like, cash bars right through there too. So
let us know where we missed.
they got
What-
your liquor.
what
They
food
got
we
your
missed.
liquor handled. Yeah, let us know what your thing.
Probably something I
your things are.
missed. Something I gotta go try.
If you're Jake Fartster, it's probably like
What are they eating in Detroit?
the hot dog bun.
Yeah,
That's all they can
a
afford.
dry bun.
Ross, where can they find us?
Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and iPacers for your Pacers or reading needs if you're interested.
Yeah, you can read it there for free, no charge.
People have reading needs.
Yeah, and you can read it without paying money for a subscription. You can just click on a website like any normal website.
That's right.
Oh, hey, look, the Lakers just waived Jose Calderon, clearing way for Calderon to sign with Golden State. He's gonna have like a resurgence of like the Spanish, like passing ability.
Jose Calderon.
Oh well,
Speak his name.
just another depressing fact that this league will come down to the Cavs and Warriors for a third consecutive year.
Somebody get hurt.
Somebody.
Oh,
Sorry.
wow.
Anyways, as Ross said, you can find us on different sites, but you can also find us on YouTube. Like and subscribe our videos. Tell your friends about us. Let's see what else we got: iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play. Also, if you have an interest in getting
need
in
an
contact
app.
with us, email us thecorner3show@gmail.com.
Look out for our post-game recaps too.
Alex was actually taking a nap before us, since he wasn't working.
I wish I was taking a nap. All right, that does it for us on the Quarter 3 Show. Catch you next time.
See ya.
Peace.